Welcome to the second video in our Ace the Behavioral Interview chapter, where we will introduce the Why Investment Banking interview question. Why investment banking is one of the most common questions that you will be asked in every interview that you complete. While this question will be answered in your story, which we will cover next, you will still be asked it individually in every interview that you have. So, we need to formulate an answer to why IB first, since it is a component of your story, and since it is a very common question. Also, it is helpful to think about this question specifically so that we can gain an understanding of exactly how our response should be structured. Focusing on just your interest in banking will ensure that it is structured perfectly for your story. As always, try not to write out a script for your response, but make a bullet-pointed list of what you want to cover so that you can hit every key point while letting your sentence structure vary and your response flow. We have attached a bonus bullet point list to this lesson so that you can reference some of the general aspects to speak about for why you are interested in investment banking. Let's get started. A great response to this question shows that you understand two things. First, you know what investment banking is, and second, you know what the work is like. These aspects are extremely important to your why investment banking answer, as bankers are trying to gauge whether you know what IB is and if you know what the work itself is like. Many students say, I want to advise CEOs or I want to pitch clients, which shows that they don't know what investment banking is like at the analyst level. At the analyst level, you will be doing neither of these two things. Showing that we understand these two concepts will put us above students that have misconceptions about investment banking and what the work entails at the analyst level. Lastly, you may allude to the fact that you know how time-consuming and challenging banking will be, but this is not a requirement. Sometimes it will fit well into your response, in which case, include it. In other cases, adding in this portion will make your answer sound clunky and obstruct its flow. In this case, leave it out, it's not mandatory. Now, the way you explain these first 2 points depends on whether you have had prior experience in finance, if you have not had prior experience in finance, or if you fall somewhere in between. We define prior experience as internships. The no experience bucket is pretty self-explanatory. You have no relevant experiences. Lastly, falling somewhere in between, we include things like club leadership positions or internships that are not related to banking. Preferably, you will have completed 1 or 2 internships in your first 2 years of college that you can use to explain how your general interest in finance evolved over time towards investment banking. However, if you are starting later in the recruitment timeline and have 0 or limited experience in finance, we need to take another approach to answering this question. While having experiences will generate more leverage than having 0 experiences or having limited experience, these last 2 scenarios will not sink your chances of getting an offer, as long as you formulate a good response to this question. Many students will fall into the position of having little relevant experience or even no relevant experience, and there's no reason to worry if this is you. In the next 3 lessons, we will cover how to answer this question when you have prior experience, no prior experience, and students in the middle with limited prior experience. So feel free to pick the lesson that is most relevant to you and skip the other 2. Coming up next, we will outline how to answer why investment banking from 3 different levels of experience.